from when she started feeling not well, and then all of a sudden the next thing she knew, she woke up and we were there. So, I was first to walk in, and because I'm sitting in the back, I have the bag. So first to get kind of in between everyone, things like strokes or fainting or someone being unconscious, the first thing we should think about is your sugar, check a sugar. Definitely yes, everyone at Lacey Fire is a firefighter EMT. You're doing both, primarily EMS. Yeah, so that's the second call that we had today. The patient stated that she initially called because she was having what she described as zaps, I guess zapping sort of feeling in her head. And when we had asked what she meant by a zap, the best way she could describe it was just like the word zap, a zap in my brain. And so we were trying to ask her questions like, like a tingling, like an electrical feel, like what do you mean by a zap? But we try not to ask questions that way. Put words in a patient's mouth and then they say like, oh yeah, that's what I mean, when really that's not what they mean. So try our best to get them to describe the actual feeling. When we do a fast testing for stroke, we will ask the patient can you smile for us with your teeth, and do we see any facial droop on either side? Grip our hands, squeeze them so we can test their grip strength, which she already had right-sided deficits from her previous stroke. Then we ask them to lift their palms, close their eyes, and then we hold their hands up for them and then we let go. And if there's a drift, which again, she already had right-sided deficits, so that was not abnormal for her. That's our fast test for testing for stroke. The third person, writing backwards, is supposed to be responsible checking all of the EMS stuff. Should be 2 non-rebreathers, 2 nasal cannulas. We have enough. Once that gets to 1,000 or right below it is when we swap out for another. We always have a spare one on the other side though. Another gate bell. This is our EpiPen. Just make sure this is within date. Got 5 sizes of NPAs, so these go.
What's an NPA?
This stands for nasopharyngeal adjunct, and then OPA is oropharynx adjunct. So depending on the situation and what we can utilize, if we can't open up their airway but they need to have an airway, we can put this in their mouth.
Right.
Oftentimes we use this before we use an iGel during a CPR, and then if it's a overdose, we don't want to stick something in their mouth because when they immediately come to, they're probably going to vomit all over us. Going with an NPA, this goes up their nose. We're able to put these up one side, preferably the right side because the nostril on your right side is typically bigger. And then the other side is where we can give them the Narcan. So we've got a Hendy Bear. This is our cycle count, and every Monday and Thursday this has to be completed. This scanner essentially, if you notice, every single one of these, either boxes or individually, depending on what it is, has a QR code. So this captures all of them and essentially counts. And then in the system that we have, which is fairly new to us this year, it goes to Natalie and just all of that. So when she sees that we're almost out of something, she then comes in, I think twice, just to make sure you get it all. But yeah, it's much quicker than it used to be.
Caretaker of my daughter-in-law. It's been changing my bandages. This leg has gotten worse.
We had to utilize a bariatric unit. Also, as you saw, just the larger gurney. To call AMR, which again, not something we normally have to do, but that was the only option that we had left for a bariatric unit. Get him onto the gurney. But he is such a pleasant person to visit. The waiting around sometimes can be hard. Like, I think they think like, God, what am I, like, you know, what am I waiting here for? Like, don't you guys just have ambulances? And he's very understanding. We go out, we try and get our groceries, and I feel like most times that's what happens is we'll be, you know, we left and we heard the engine get a call. So we know that we're up next. We're always just prepared and ready, and I should say maybe expecting that next call. So when it happens, it's kind of like, this is just what I do. Like this is the job. I just go run calls. Who cares about the food? Who cares about this? And it is funny because I feel like I haven't been doing this job very long, but I feel like that mindset does translate to a lot of our personal lives too. I've heard comments like from my significant other and friends that are like, how can you just drop what you're doing and just immediately go do that? And I'm like, I gotta do it. What do you mean? Oh, we're up next. It's gonna be us, so we better like make this quick.
My record for trying to check out is 4 times.
I think the most challenging aspect of like being an EMT and doing that in the field, because the majority of calls we run, like for today, for example, I have run dozens of calls, just like the ones that we did. But there are times when especially someone that's new, I still have plenty of like firsts, right? Like I have not encountered this yet, or I have not dealt with this yet, or I have not seen this yet. When those moments happen, it's like going through my Rolodex in my head of all these experiences that I have had that are maybe similar or close to it, and just thinking of like all the things, like if I'm stuck on like, I feel like with EMS, there's so many things it could be. Like there's such a wide range. And yes, we often see very much of the same things, but then occasionally there's like this one thing or this other thing, and you're like, I'm asking all the questions I normally ask, and I'm not getting the answers I'm looking for, and this isn't making sense. And about that is like, if I don't know, and luckily I have 2 people on my crew that have far more experience than me, and one of them's a medic, so EMS calls, honestly even fire calls too, but we'll stick with the Coles example today. I think that comes from a number of things. Training, obviously, like if I know what I'm doing and my other partner knows what he's doing as an EMT, pretty well together, right? Because I'm identifying what you're identifying, so I can go identify what else I need to do that will be helpful or not helpful. But 2, the fact that this is my crew that I normally work with, that's another aspect to it. You kind of get in the rhythm of how people operate, just like, you know, outside of work, you know, how your friends or your partners might react to certain things, or how you can be most helpful or get out of their way. We do that as well too. Going into a call, knowing what role you're supposed to be, kind of like, I wasn't supposed to tech that call, but I ended up being the one taking the call. There's a certain role in your head that you know, like if I'm teching, I'm gonna be asking, we have all these questions that we know that we need to ask, you know, and if I'm helping the person teching, I'm gonna be taking vitals. I'm with a tablet and I'm asking bystanders or family members or like whoever is there the questions that, you know, maybe I haven't heard from them yet, or that only this person's gonna know.
Track 33 is getting this question. And on site,
Well, first off, I feel very fortunate that I work at a department that's very big on support in that regard. If we have a traumatic call, we have such a great support team here. But even just within my crew, we have a good, I guess, understanding of what happens when we don't talk about traumatic calls, you know, and I think the fire service knows that in general. Like, but not only are we aware, but our department's very good about doing something about it. Like our peer support members. I just want to talk about this really quick, make sure that everything's okay. I couldn't bear it myself. I have so many people here that I feel comfortable coming to, and I know that I won't be, like, there's not a negative stigma around it. Like, I guess I just feel fortunate to work at a place that I know it's supported for me to seek out extra help if I needed it. My biggest thing for me is getting outside. That's my stress relief, like being out in nature. That for me, that's personally my biggest thing.